Hello and welcome everybody to Spiritual Connections LLC. I am Angelina, your spiritual alignment coach. And today we're going to talk about manifesting because why not? And also because yesterday we were talking about identity, right? And releasing some of these kind of toxic traits that we're holding on to. And we talked a lot yesterday in the last video, the identity versus self, or rather the identity of victim versus villain. We talked a lot about just creating this new reality that we really want to step into. But first, we have to let go of these masks that we're wearing. We have to let go of this script that we're holding on to that somebody is a certain way or we are a certain way. And so, really, I want to talk about how we can take that to the next level as we release those identities, right? How we can use that to really manifest our reality. So I want to talk about some kind of typical things that people manifest. I want to talk about why those manifestations aren't working. So, as a hypnotherapist, I have a lot of people who come to me to manifest a new reality, right? They want to change old behaviors or change old patterns and step into something new. And they've tried everything, right? They've gone to seminars, they've bought books, they've watched endless YouTube videos. And there's a lot of awesome YouTube videos out there with a lot of people like me who want to share their knowledge and teach people about high vibration and manifesting and law of attraction and all of these things. And so why are we, you, I, them, why are we still stuck, right? Why are our manifestations still not coming true? So here's some of the things people typically manifest for. And those are my dogs barking. Here's some of the things people typically manifest for. So we have health, wealth, and abundance, right? Those are super kind of arbitrary statements, and yet I hear them all the time from people, right? Well, I want health. Well, what does that mean? I want good health. Okay, well, what does that mean, right? When we talk about health, are we talking about diet? Are we talking about exercise? Are we talking about mental health? Are we talking about relationships? What are we talking about when we're speaking about health? Well, so wealth, what are we talking about with wealth? Are we talking about owning your own home? Are we talking about spending money? Are we talking about having the newest trends? What do you mean by wealth? Abundance. Abundance is another one. What an arbitrary phrase. Honestly, it sometimes drives me a little nuts when people are like, well, I want abundance. Abundance in what? Right? What is it that you're not abundant in now? Right? And so we really have to have these deeper conversations about what do these things mean for you? And I promise we're going to get into those things in just a second. So if you're feeling like, dang, Angelina, you're like really targeting me right now. Okay, I promise that nothing that I'm saying to you is something I haven't already said to myself. And I promise you that I'm going to give you awesome, amazing solutions to all of these problems. So if you are one of the people who is on this channel or in the future, and you're like, yeah, my manifestations aren't working, this is probably a great place for you to start. And check out my video from yesterday, which is all about flipping the script away from the victim and villain mentality. That's going to be really a great place for you to start, because in order for you to do this whole manifesting thing, you have to let go of those identity first, because those identities are very low vibrational. And we were going to talk we might talk a little bit about the law of attraction. I want to try to keep this video sort of short and sweet and easy and quick. So we might not talk about it here in this video, but we will eventually talk about the law of attraction. Okay, so there's stuff that gets in the way of us attracting these things. There's things that getting in the way of us manifesting this health, wealth, and abundance. So the first thing is like we're totally not clear about what it is that we actually want, right? Like I was just mentioning, I don't know what you mean by healthy, and I don't know what you mean by abundance. And if I don't know, then your brain doesn't know. And if your brain doesn't know, the universe doesn't know. And so we're getting super muddy, murky things. The other reason why we sometimes don't get what we want is because we just don't have sort of that steady high vibrational energy, right? And so this is kind of a thing that occurs often. So if you're the type of person like me, I love books. Like here right now, I have so many books. I have How to Win Friends and Influence People. I have This Is Your Brain on Music. I have Incognito, The Secret Lives of the Brain. I have The 7 Principles of Making a Marriage Work. I have relationship strategies, ENP, attraction. I have the professional hypno. I have all these books, right? I have just in my arm's reach. I have quantum healing, A to Z. I love books. I love learning, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So if you're the type of person who is like me and you've got all these books about how to attract, how to manifest, et cetera, right? You get this great surge of energy where you're like, yes, I've figured it out. I've got it. I've got this manifestation formula. You know, all I got to do is just stick to my formula. I got to stick to envisioning my reality. I got this, right? I just got to stick to it. And then you don't, right? And the reason why you don't is specifically for this reason, right? Like what we talked about yesterday, we haven't changed the unconscious mind and what we see and what we perceive. And so we just sort of give up because we have the super high vibrational space and then we go down to a super low vibrational space and it's just inconsistent, right? Okay. The other reason, the main reason why our manifestations don't work is because of lack. Well, two reasons. One, we don't give it enough time. Right? We expect things to happen overnight. We have sort of unrealistic goals or unspecified goals, and it doesn't happen overnight, and then we give up. Or we're too much in lack, right? Or fear. Well, what if I do get it? What if I do get it? What's going to change? What if he doesn't love me anymore? What if I don't have a job anymore? What if, right? And so then our manifestations don't come. Okay. So there's some stuff. Okay. So I'm going to teach you my job as a hypnotherapist, my job here, and what I strive to do, my intention for this video is I want to teach you clear, easy, quick, and permanent manifestation so that you can start living the life that you really want right now, every single moment of every single day, changing that unconscious mind, right? Because if you don't change the unconscious mind and you're just doing things on the conscious level, then we're going to hit some yucky roadblocks and give up. So my goal is to teach you to not give up, to continue to persevere. I'm going to teach you how to do this. It's super easy. It is going to require effort, but it is easy, okay? If you find yourself in a space when you're doing any of these exercises or watching any of these videos or reading any books or in any seminar, if you're finding yourself getting confused, okay, there's two reasons why we get confused. The first reason is because we're overcomplicating things. We're overthinking it, right? Or we have some sort of energetic block towards that thing. So our unconscious mind is saying, that's not safe. Stay away from that. Okay. So we're overthinking it. We need to simplify. Another reason why it might not be easy, right? It's feeling complicated is because it's not going to work. It's not going to work for you in the long run. It's a technique that is a great idea, but the implementation, right? It needs to be easy. It needs to be something you can do anytime, anywhere, any place, and really create that reality that you want. Okay. So let's talk about how we do this. How do you first start? Okay. So step one, right, is the video from yesterday where we have to start identifying our identity. Right? Are we the victim? Are we the villain? Are we interchanging those things? Are we holding on to lack? And you're going to see very clearly exactly what's blocking your way here in just a second, because I'm going to show you. It's kind of fun. I want you to look at this not as a judgment. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat me up, right? Just allow this to be an exercise, right? So we're going to go from expectation into experimentation in just a second. I'm going to tell you everything about what I'm talking about here in a second. Also, before I go on to that, please make sure you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that little bell so you get notified whenever I go live. I am going to be posting a little segment here where we are going to do an experiment together in terms of manifestation. It's going to be a little bit later today, just because that's how the cookie crumbled today. So it's going to be a little later today. I'm going to post a video. It's not going to be live, of me doing a little experimentation. And I'm going to do that for a week here with you all. I'm going to show you all how to do it. Okay. So the very first thing we want to do when we're thinking about manifestation is we need to create a goal. Right? I know that sounds really stupid, but we have to have a goal, right? We have to have the thing that we're manifesting towards. Okay. So I'm going to give you some common ones and I'm going to give you a real one. Okay. So here's some things that people tell me as their goal. Well, I don't want to be mad. I don't want to be so reactive all the time. Okay. Right? That's a goal. Without judgment, right? We're just going to take that as information. I don't want to be reactive anymore. I don't want to keep being so burned out at work. Okay. So you might start hearing a trend, right? We're in the don'ts, and don't worry, right? Or worry, whatever you want to do. We're going to talk about how to change that here in just a second. Okay. So a lot of times when people come to me with a goal, they're in the don't wants. And then when I say, okay, well, I hear your goal that you don't want to be reactive anymore, or you don't want to be burned out anymore, or you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Whatever that looks like. Now, that is an anti goal, right? Because what we're saying is, I don't want something, but the brain only hears I want something because it knows what it doesn't want. So it knows what to attract, right? So we have to give the brain sort of something clear here. So the very first thing is we need to create something positive. Now, when I say positive, I don't mean good. I mean, brings toward a real goal. So if you don't want to be sick and tired anymore, and you're tired of being sick and tired, then what is it that you do want? I want to feel abundant in energy. I want to feel happy and joyful. I want to interact with people who facilitate happiness and warmth, right? I don't know. I'm making some stuff up, but you see what I'm saying, right? Which is the negative piece, which is taking away from a goal. We can flip that into the opposite so that we're moving toward a goal now. So now if I want happiness and I want to be abundant in joy, I can move in that direction. If I don't want to be sick and tired anymore, then like, what does that even mean? Right? So we have to make something positive. We have to move towards goal. A lot of times it's super simple because remember, it's all about simplicity. If you're in the don't wants, your want is simply the opposite, right? I don't want to be tired anymore. Okay, that means I want to feel more awake and rejuvenated. That's just the opposite, right? So keep it simple for your own mind, for your own well-being, your own mental fortitude, just super simple. Okay, so now we've made it positive. That's the first P. The second P is present. I want to make this present, right? So I want to feel joyful. Okay, when? When do you want to feel joyful? Remember, keeping it very simple. I want to feel joyful right now, right? So I want to feel joyful now. Okay, that's easy, right? That was super simple, right? So I'm positive because I want something. I'm present. I'm now, right? So the other part of this is I have to make it personal, right? So I have to make this true for me, very particular, very specific to me as a person. So that means, and remember, keeping it very simple, the statement is I want to be joyful. If I want to make this personal to me, I would say I am joyful now, right? So now I'm positive. I am present. I am personal. And now I have to make it the fourth P, which is permanent. Okay. So this fourth P can sometimes be the most difficult because this fourth P means that I have to be willing to change my current vibrational space. I have to be willing to accept that maybe this particular manifestation isn't actually going to manifest the way that I expect it to, right? So I have to make something permanent, which is I am allowing myself to grow in order to receive and align with this thing that I'm manifesting. Okay. So I have to be willing to grow. I have to be willing to see and observe and be in awareness of where I am preventing myself from receiving or interacting with other people who are preventing me from receiving. So I have to be in this awareness space, which makes it more permanent, right? As I step into that growth and step into that alignment, I'm going to start gaining a little bit more evidence that supports that my manifestations can come true. So here's really the toughest part that I see for clients is that when they start receiving the evidence from their manifestation, they don't see it. They don't see the evidence. And here's why. They don't see the evidence because they're in expectation, right? Well, I did feel more joy, or rather, I would say, so this week, how did you feel? Did you notice yourself experiencing more joy? And they would say, no, not really. Okay, tell me more about that. Tell me more about not really experiencing more joy. Well, my wife came in and she asked me how my day was, and I was actually kind of excited to tell her about my day. Okay. When you told her about your day, how did she respond? she was very open to it. Okay, how did you feel about that? Well, actually, now that you mentioned, I was kind of happy about how she responded, and I felt like I could tell her more about my day. Okay, well, guess what? You just experienced evidence that supports that your manifestation is coming to light for you, right? Yeah, you weren't like knee slapping all day long, laughing hysterically, but you experienced a joyful moment with your wife in that moment, right? So, this is manifestation, right? This is growth. This is that alignment space, right? So, again, looking at that moment and saying, oh, I actually did experience more joy this week because last week I didn't experience that moment and this week I did. So, the 4 P's, we have positive, which is moving towards a goal. We have present, which means I'm bringing this into this moment now, right? I'm making it personal or particular for me, right? Which is simply an I am statement, right? It's just saying I am this thing. I am positive. I am abundant, right? And again, making it very particular. What is abundant, right? Or even if you want to keep it vague, right? I am abundant. And just seeing what the universe brings you, you can do that too. And then making it permanent. So the statement for permanent is I allow myself to grow in order to align with this thing that I'm manifesting, right? And of course, you'll say what it is you're manifesting. So I allow myself to grow in order to align with joy. I allow myself to grow in order to align with financial abundance. I allow myself to grow in order to receive and align with patience, right? All of those things. Remember that when you're manifesting for something, the universe is going to bring you opportunity. So if you're wanting to manifest patience, the universe is going to bring you opportunities to practice patience, right? If you're manifesting for financial abundance, the universe is going to give you financial abundance and give you the opportunity to be wise with that opportunity, right? So there's a lot of things that come with this. Okay, now here's the fun part for me, or this is where I, as a hypnotherapist, would step in. And because we're doing this on a live and not doing this in person, right? You don't get to ask your questions, unfortunately, unless you ask them in the comments, then I respond. In person, right? We would be checking in constantly and saying, okay, how did this feel? What did you notice coming up for you? Did you feel it was difficult to think positively? Was it was a lot of like obstacles coming up for you in your mind, right? Like all the ways this couldn't work for you, all the ways you don't deserve this, or all the ways in which the universe couldn't possibly care, right? Did that come up for you as you were making this manifestation? Did you start thinking about how you've tried this so many times and it's never worked for you? Or how it only works sporadically, right? Did you start coming up with these obstacles as you were doing this exercise? Now, if you didn't, if you were like, this was easy, this was fine, great. Tell me about that. Leave that in the comments. Let me know how this was super easy and how you've already been doing this and it's awesome. Tell people about your wonderful, beautiful experience because that's evidence, right? If this was difficult for you, leave that in the comments, right? Because guess what? That means you're human and we all experience that, right? There's definitely been times where I've been manifesting for something and going, the universe is never going to bring this to me. This is never going to happen, right? This is so outlandish, right? And so I have to reevaluate that energy and come back to that permanent place and saying, okay, wait, if I can allow myself to grow and receive, then that means the universe can bring me what I want and what I need and what I desire, right? And as long as those things are in alignment with my integrity and my morals and my values, then we're good to go, right? Okay. I have a list, right? Because I'm trying to be more prepared. Okay, so checking in with that energy. Is that energy bringing you closer toward your goal or further away from your goal? Just checking in with that and remembering each and every time something comes up for you, that is a place for you to heal. So let's say that as you're doing this manifestation, you were like, I've tried this so many times and I failed. Okay, let's work with that. Let's heal that. Let's switch this manifestation from the original manifestation and into a manifestation for healing that wound of trying and failing, right? So let's bring that into the goal. So my goal is I want to feel or I want to experience positive changes more consistently, right? Because that's what it is. So if I want to experience positive changes more consistently, how do I make that present? Well, I want to experience more positive changes more consistently now. Okay, great. Now we're present, right? Now I want to make this personal. I am experiencing more positive changes more consistently now, right? And then to the permanent. So I'm allowing myself to learn and grow and experience more positive changes more consistently as the universe brings me more of those opportunities. Bam. Now we just have this really great manifestation code. We have this really clear goal. I know exactly what the universe is bringing me. I am going to allow myself to be more in a space of awareness to recognize when I am more positive and the consistency of that positivity, right? Okay, great. So this is just the conscious level, right? This is just we're taking some of these unconscious things, which are the obstacles, we're bringing those into the conscious manifestations, but then we have to change something in here, right? And this is going to be part of the video I'm going to post a little bit later. But we have to change something in our hearts, in our minds, and our spirit, right? Which is simply the allowing, right? What would it feel like if you could receive all of the things you're manifesting for? Now, the truth is, if you received everything that you were manifesting for, it would probably be really overwhelming. And some of those things wouldn't really align with your integrity and your morals and your values. And some of the things you might be manifesting could be harmful to you or somebody else. So, not everything is meant to come to fruition, right? But if you're manifesting for the things that you desire for health, wealth, abundance, grace, patience, love, happiness, right? High vibrational things and spaces, then you're going to feel an expansion, right? You're going to feel a high vibrational energy. You're going to want to bring that energy to other people, right? So when you're in this space, after you've gone to that permanent, right? You've done the whole 4 Ps and you're like, okay, cool, this is permanent. I'm allowing myself to do this thing. Check in with yourself. What does that feel like? Just to do the 4 Ps, right? For me, when I do this, I feel really expansive and calm and excited because I'm like, cool, I wonder what this is going to look like, right? I wonder what this is going to be like for me. Now, this is the key. Expectation versus exploration. Okay. So expectation means I know what this is going to look like. This is predictable. This is safe. If I come to the universe and I say, I want to manifest wealth, I want to have $300,000 by, in 6 months. Right. And if I don't receive $300,000 in 6 months, then I'm just a failure. And that's just what it is. Right. That's an expectation. Right. The expectation is that it's going to fail. Right. And I'm not going to receive $300,000 in 6 months. And that's just unreasonable. Right. And the expectation that I have to the universe is that it's probably not going to come through. Right. Now, the other side of it, right, is if I totally believe the universe is going to bring me $300,000 in 6 months, it's going to happen. But if it doesn't happen because maybe it's not in alignment with your integrity, your morals, or your values, well, then the universe is a failure. I have an expectation, right? Well, the universe is doing this to me. Now I'm in the victim, right? I'm in victim space. The universe did this thing to me. It didn't find me worthy. I didn't deserve it enough, right? I'm in that victim space. And now I've just tanked my manifestation. Okay, so we want to flip this from expectation into exploration. Exploration just means, let's see what happens, right? If the universe doesn't bring me 300,000, but it brings me 100,000, I can still celebrate the hell out of that because that's a lot of money, right? Or if I manifest for 300,000 and the universe brings me $300, well, that's still freaking awesome because that's $300 more than I had before, right? And I can really celebrate that piece and continue to grow, right? Because manifestation is about growth. It's not about getting what you want because we're not kids, right? It's about growing in the spirit and the essence of who you are, right? So if you're manifesting for something that isn't growing you and expanding your essence, right? It's probably why we're not really receiving it, right? We have to be always, well, we don't have to be. When you're on the spiritual path and you're wanting to be expansive and manifesting and creating a new reality for yourself, right? It is imperative for you to be open to growth, right? Because you can't stay 4 years old forever. Eventually you have to grow into an adult or a spiritual being or an entity or a guru or whatever, right? So we're constantly in this space of growth because that's reality, right? So we're tapping into the reality and the potential realities to create something new. Okay, so remember, the very first thing, we have to have a very clear goal that is positive, that is present, that is particular or personal and permanent, right? And that permanence is the allowing yourself to grow so that you're able to be in a space of receiving that thing. Especially if you're wanting to receive $300,000, right? And you're not working on your past traumas with money, right? Then if you get that $300,000, you wouldn't necessarily know how to spend it. This is what I'm manifesting for, by the way. I'm manifesting for $300,000 in the next 6 months because I want to, and I'm gathering the evidence to see if that's going to actually come to me. $300,000 is a lot of money, but why not, right? If it's within my alignment with integrity, with my morals and my values, right? So I'm not going to receive that money robbing a bank or going to a casino or playing the lottery, because those things aren't really within my integrity. Not that they're bad, they're just not in my integrity. So I have to find a way, I have to allow the universe to bring me opportunities to make that kind of money in the next 6 months. And I have to work on my trauma with money. I have to work on being wise with my money and learn how to manage large sums of money so that I don't squander it, right? And be wise. And that's all we're talking about here, right? Is that when you manifest for something so amazing, something so impactful and life-changing, you have to grow with the experience, right? That's all this is, right? Super simple. 4 P's. Expectation versus exploration, and allow yourself to really receive the benefits of what you're wanting. So remember, a little bit later today, I am going to be posting a really cool experiment. It's not something I created. It's something I totally saw on Facebook. And the reason I'm posting it a little bit later is 2 reasons. One, I have to find the video so I can post it. And if I can't find the video, I'm still going to post it, but I'm going to try really, really hard to reference it. It is not my idea. And it's an awesome idea, and I really want to try it. So I'm going to try it with all of you. I'm going to show you some really simple, this technique I saw is really simple. It's very easy. It's a very permanent way of manifesting, and I think it's awesome. So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it really impactful, really simple, really easy. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Make sure you like and subscribe, hitting that bell. Send this video to anybody that you think wants to manifest a new reality. Check out the last video about how to flip your script, because I think that's going to be really helpful as you start really manifesting and noticing any obstacles in your path. And I hope, I pray, and I send positive energy that you be blessed and prosperous on your healing journey. And may you experience joy as you learn and grow on your path, because that's really what this is all about. Until next time, I'm Angelina, your spiritual alignment coach, and I hope to see you all next time.